Hey, what's good, family? Queen Common Sense coming back to you from the Chi-Town, holding it down. Peace, hotep, and tough love to you all. Here we go again. My heart is very heavy after viewing this prehistoric display of rage regarding a group beating that occurred in McDonald's recently. And I'm coming to you because this is something that really disturbs me. Our youth, we are seeing more and more of our youth exhibiting these displays of sheer and utter rage. It is raw anger, rage, and just downright savage, animalistic attacks on one another. And it's getting, it has gotten so far out of hand. And I'm really just not pleased at all. And I have someone here with me on Skype, my lovely sister from New York, Miss Bonse. And we're going to discuss this display. I've included the link in the description box, as I will not display this on my channel at all. And I refuse to contribute to it and give it any more views. And for entertainment purposes, we'll put it that way. This is strictly for education. This is not encouraging or by any way supporting this kind of savage behavior. I do condone self-defense, but I do not condone gang violence, group violence, or any type of riotous behavior. So, how you doing, Miss Bonsaint?
How you doing, Queen Common Sense? It's been a while since we've done something together. I'm so excited and I'm so happy you're covering this topic.
It's so good to have you. I'm glad you did this with me because you know personally how I feel about this and how I feel about our youth. And it's real. I'm almost without words. I'm speechless, and I know that's hard for some people to believe because I'm always saying something. So, but we must debrief our children. It's very important. It's very critical for us to really look at what's going on in their psychological, mental, and emotional makeup. Because this beating, to stomp and beat and kick someone until they are in a seizure, they go into a seizure, canatotic seizure. This is crazy. So what we need to do is really examine ourselves as parents and figure out, take our children to the side. I don't care what age they are, because now they're starting as young as kindergarten with this savage, animalistic destruction of one another and themselves. And no matter what you say, how you say it, it's the media. It's what they're watching, it's what they're reading, it's what they're seeing on television, on these video games, and all of these viral things that they have exposure to. They're not being disciplined, guided, or nurtured. And that's just the bottom line. So what we need to do is, I've put out a request to some people who I know have a very strong voice on YouTube, and I'm sure in their personal communities, to please weigh in on this subject. Send me a response video and really speak out and come correct about this behavior, because a nation only rises as high as her woman. And these young ladies, it's worse than an MMA fight. And I just cannot gather words to accurately describe how mortified I was, and how upset and just totally discombobulated with this this incident. And what frightened me even more was that there were several young men standing around and no one did anything to try to break the fight up. There was one maybe manager who was screaming at him to stop, to cease, and obviously that did no good. But there were other young men who could have stepped in and broke the fight up and called authorities. And what's even worse, if that's not bad enough, the gentleman, the young man that was filming the fight, after the young woman on the floor went into a seizure, he was encouraging the attackers to leave because the authorities were on their way to the scene. This is upside down. This is backwards. This is not about race. This is not about any type of racial prejudice, whether they were black, white, Puerto Rican, Mexican, purple, green with orange spots. This is about humanity. Now, I've been called a lot of things, but I'm not inhuman. I'm a very humane person, and this is outrageous. It's past outrageous. And I'm gonna calm down, and I'm gonna allow Miss Bonsaint to please comment and give a few thoughts on this attack.
Thank you, Queen. I agree with everything that you just said, and I co-sign 100%. I think that our teens are exposed to a lot of violence. Teens and young people, it's just a constant bombardment from news sources, from movies, from games, and everything, just like you said. And what that does is it just blunts our emotional response. See, I'm not used to seeing violent stuff like that because I don't watch movies like that. So when I saw this video, I had a gut reaction to it. I was very angry watching this young lady be beaten down while she was on the ground helpless by two enraged young women.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know why they attacked her. We don't know, what the circumstances were. But we do know that it was excessive. And, there's just no excuse for that kind of behavior. And I was watching that, and we watched it together. We talked about it and discussed it and thought that it was important to make a video in response to it for the young people who are, in your following, who listen to you and look up to you as an elder. And understand that, what you're watching has a really, really profound effect on your behavior. We see, on a daily basis, so many acts of violence that we just become desensitized to it. We don't see consequences to behaviors like this. We see people getting beat up all the time. Nothing ever happens to them. So, it's almost like that the aggressive behavior is almost acceptable.
Yes, we have
right?
become desensitized to this. For it to have people standing around watching, and there was only one elder woman who was trying to stop it. She was unable to because of her frailties. And they were cussing her like she was in the wrong for trying to stop the shit. Now, I just don't understand. Please help me understand why wrong is now right, and it is okay to display as much inhuman, animalistic behavior and go ham, hard as a motherfucker, whatever that means. Why is that impressive now these days? That's what I want to know. Why do you have to clown and act a natural fool just to get attention and feel accepted and validated in today's society among our youth? What is that about? I really want the young people that see this, pass it around, to comment, and let's start a discussion and take action on this and pull our young people aside. We must be hands-on. Talking is not going to do it. We have to talk, teach, and love and change the way that we approach our youth. Speak their language, get to know what they're doing, who they're hanging out with, what type of media and information and data is going into their brain. Because we say, yes, music calms the savage beast. but it also enrages the savage beast. And with all of these mantras of sex, violence, drugs, hoeing, prostituting, pimping, and popping coochies, it's not normal. It's not natural. It's not healthy. It is killing our children's psyche, their self-esteem, their moral fiber, and their values. They are not learning anything from this crap. So we need to really sit down and examine and dissect this shit, because it's gotten way too far out of hand. And I did a video just last week about my own son had to dust somebody off because of their mouth and instigate. He had to do it because he had no other choice. He was like, "What do you?" I mean, it started in August, and here we are in almost in May. So you gonna jump on me because I don't want to fight you or because I don't want to be in your gang? Well, let me show you better than I can tell you. So that's what happened. And then the people who set it up was the very ones who got reprimanded for it. So
self-defense is one thing, and then this girl was clearly down on the ground, unable to fight.
Yeah, defenseless. They were dragging her by her hair outside, as if it wasn't bad enough that they had her on the floor inside of the establishment. Okay, so that's we really need to evaluate this and take it seriously. It's not funny, and you can go on YouTube and see millions and millions of these clips with millions of views. These children are filming fights in school, after school, before school, in other places, and loading it up on YouTube like it's a form of entertainment. It's not funny. People are losing their lives over this. And it's not just a typical schoolyard fight. They take this on and on and on for months and years until somebody is dead. Dead. Never to return to the living again. And this young lady, we don't know the status of her situation, her prognosis, the one that went into seizure, the one that was attacked. She was literally stomped into the floor. Nobody did anything to try to pull these young ladies away from her. Nobody. They encouraged them to run after the police were called. So, I can't say it enough. This is a travesty beyond belief, and we really need to stop it. Do something now. I put my life on the line, jumping out of my truck in the middle of traffic trying to break up teenagers fighting. And they need direction. They're screaming out for our attention. And they don't want an iPod. They don't want an iPhone. They want you as their parent. So we might come back with part 2. We really need to take this seriously. And it's not a joke. It's not funny. And it's not, nobody deserves to be stomped under the bottom of someone's shoe. Nobody. Unless you're trying to defend yourself. If it's between life and death, yes, you're going to protect yourself. However, 2 people, 3 people, no. When it could easily have been diffused, broken up, and had them sent on their way. So, this is Queen Common Sense calling out all the family to weigh in on this situation. And please make it a point to spread this video and all videos like this around so we can stop the madness. Peace out.